Oh man, white people hate white people who point out racism. I just got this email today, and I know this is supposed to be an own fearless, but starting by calling your name fearless while you clearly made up an email to hide your name and anonymize yourself, and you didn't even do that in the comments publicly, tells me you have an astounding amount of cognitive dissonance. I'm the one stoking division. Okay. So you know how when you have this really toxic person at work who is really harmful, harming a lot of people, and you see it and you say something to them about it, and instead of them getting in trouble for their bad behavior, you get in trouble for speaking up about it? It's not what you said, it's how you said it, but there's no real consequences for them. That's what white people sound like when we say that other people bringing up racism is stoking division. Acknowledging the harm is happening isn't stoking the division. The division been stoked. It's been stoked. You just don't want to hear about the harm. It's like if a group of kids cheated on a test, got caught cheating on the test, were told to stop. Some changes were implemented, but they still got to keep their high scores. And then when they still get preferential acceptance into colleges for their high scores, and other people say, hey, why are the cheaters getting in first? And people say, oh my God, stop bringing that up. It's in the past. That's like the simplest analogy I can think of for white privilege and what you're bitching about and what you sound like here. Nowhere have I said that white women are not bullied. I have been open online in my bullying course and written down in books about my personal experience with workplace bullying. And look at that. I'm Caucasian! Which is a made-up pseudoscience term, by the way. We're not talking about that. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about because you didn't cite anything or reference a specific situation. I'm guessing you're mad about when I've talked about how white women can bully people and how there's so much evidence showing our propensity to bully black women and other women of color. In particular, I've shared how in my research on the unwritten rules of work, I've heard from several black women about white women stalking them on their way home. Are you a stalker? Fearful? Because methinks the lady doth protest too much, because when I see stuff like this and when I heard it directly from black women themselves, I just thought, that's bunny on the stove behavior, that's fucking weird, we gotta stop that shit. Not let me make a fake email and send somebody something and just have a little hissy fit because it wasn't about me. Women who aren't bullies see my videos and just think, wow, I didn't know that before, or good to know. You heard me talking about black women being stalked or Chicana women being expected to be subservient to their white counterpart. Something in you made your ass cheeks squeeze so hard together that your briefs turned into a thong, didn't they? Inhale, exhale, baby. Exhale, let it breathe. Instead of showing your ass, let it relax. If you are bullied at work, I hope you document it better than this because a lot of people don't document correctly, but this is exceptionally bad. There's no specifics on what you're upset about, which video, what incident, any proof of inaccuracy. If you are being bullied at work, you want to be more specific. So let's pause the white woman tears long enough to support the work of a woman of color who does great work in this on how to document the behaviors in a way that gets you results. And that's Hayusa Silva, who I've tagged on here multiple times. We did a workshop together that's linked in my school, and she has a great framework for how to document bullying behavior in a way that works legally even within the US. And she gives it away for a donation base. I'll include the link to that in these comments. Not for you, since you've clearly muted me because I'm so terrible, but for anybody else watching this who isn't, pulling their undies back out. As I always say, unwritten rules for you don't mean that unwritten rules for other people don't exist. Somebody being bullied doesn't mean they are incapable of being bullied. That is actually a backlash that a lot of people do to try to get back at people. And I have talked a lot, it's in my bullying playlist, about how white women often try to perpetrate the same thing white men do to us onto women of color, and that's unacceptable and perpetrates the same harm. It's a both and situation, baby. Sounds like you have a hard time conceptualizing that, and honestly, it just sounds like you're racist. It does require a lot of compartmentalization, like thinking you're fearless while doing this, 787. Do you feel better now that you hid behind an anonymized email and got a reaction from me? This is how you handle problems in life. Not doing much to actually spark change or understanding why harm happens, and just doing something that lets you handle your emotions in an unproductive way. Seeking attention and victimizing yourself. I'm so glad my content bothered you. It means I'm on the right track. And as someone who grew up with a lot of racist beliefs, I still have a long way to go. But I take reactions like this as mile markers along the way. So go work on yourself, and if your comments would be as helpful as your emails, well, you will not be missed on my YouTube page.